Today is May 23rd. Welcome to the Friday edition of Take 5 for Torah. The Friday edition is always a discussion of the Haftorah for that week. Today, Friday, we're preparing for a double parsha. Both Bahar and Bechukosai, when they are even alone, they're both Haftorahs are from Sefer Yirmiyahu, the book of Yirmiyahu that describes the fall of Jerusalem, the predictions first, and then the fall itself. And I want to take just a moment to say what we won't read tomorrow, but what is the Haftorah of Bahar that describes redeeming land of a close relative if they had to sell it because they became impoverished. And Yirmiyahu did just that for a cousin, which didn't seem the right thing to do. He had been predicting for so long that Yerushalayim is about to be conquered and destroyed, thus perhaps reducing real estate value. It couldn't get too much for a house in 2005 in Sderot, in Gaza. But what Yirmiyahu is saying is that we will soon return. I may not ever own this land, I understand. By chapter 32, when Haftorah of Bahar appears, Israel was very soon afterwards already conquered, and Jerusalem was in the hands of the Babylonians. But Yirmiyahu had hoped that even if I don't ever live in this property, my grandson will. And that's a sign for the people. So Yirmiyahu chapter 32 would be the Haftorah of Bahar, but we will read, because when we have double parsha, usually we read the second one as the Haftorah, and that is Yirmiyahu chapter 16, which begins with the immortal words, Hashem uzi u'ma'uzi. God is my strength, and He is ma'uzi. What does ma'uzi add to uzi? Perhaps we can answer that with a prophecy of Yirmiyahu's contemporary, Tzfanya. It's not a Haftorah, but Tzfanya refers to a Yom HaShoah u'mishoah. The day we commemorate the Holocaust, the 27th of Nisan, called Yom HaShoah, is from this verse. In the original name of the commemoration, the beginning of the 50s, was called Yom HaShoah U'Gevurah. But in the original text of Tanakh, it's Yom HaShoah U'mishoah. What does Tzfanya mean by that double expression? Because a Shoah means something utterly wiped out and destroyed. The word Holocaust is the Greek translation of the word Olah, a burnt offering. It's totally burnt and destroyed. So that's Yom HaShoah. The Mishoah are the consequences of that loss. In other words, it's a terrible shoah for a young child to lose a parent. The Mishoah is how drastically that life is going to be changed now. He can't attend the same school. Maybe he has to move from his house. Maybe he can't go to the same summer camp. What the community has to do is to step in to make sure that the Shoah doesn't turn into the consequences of a Mishoah. It's bad enough this child doesn't have his parent at home. But it's up to a good community, a caring community, to look at those losses and make sure that they are covered, so that they can at least grieve and they don't have the consequences of that grief. So too in the opposite realm, Hashem uzi, God, you alone are my strength. It doesn't mean that I'm just going to sit back and rely on that only. God helps those who help themselves, we know that. God, don't rely on miracles. We must do everything within our strength. Some even said that you should have Hishtadlus, try as if though you have no emunah, and have emunah as if though you have no Hishtadlus. Try as much as if though you have no faith, but put the faith at the same time as if though you have no strength. But we have both. Hashem uzi, Uma uzi. The consequences of that faith. The consequences of that faith is ma'uzi, is what we see in history. What a schus to be alive at a time where we can just call a travel agent and make it over to Israel the next day. Isn't that amazing? I happen to be going to Israel tomorrow, but what an amazing thing. Our ancestors just a few hundred years ago would have to spend months planning and perhaps months just getting there. What an uzi, the consequences of our strength in our faith. May it strengthen us continuously. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek.